Hey, this is Peachy.
I'm Ooze.
This is Sudon.
And we'd like to take a moment to thank our original launch site, Anchor.fm, who's helped to enrich this podcast in many ways. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast.
Anchor.fm offers educational tools on how to get started in social media and has not only given our show, stapled together, several platforms to choose from for your listening enjoyment, but continues to offer helpful tips and avenues for growth along the way. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use.
With an easy, hassle-free method for uploading, you can add your podcast episodes to Anchor.fm's extensive library, available for listening on several popular streaming services, letting listeners choose a favorite platform. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast.
That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad.
Go to anchor.fm/start to get started today.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Stapled Together
Episode
of
the Stapled Together comic book podcast.
Comic book podcast.
We're gonna get sued.
For the comic book release week of July 3rd, 2019, I am Peachy.
I'm Ooze.
And Sudon. That's really hard to do.
And,
I'm Sudon. Even when I'm trying to talk normally, it's coming out stupidly.
I hate that. I feel like I stumble over my words a lot.
You do. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, snap.
Ouchie.
Claws coming out.
Let's go ahead and jump right into the pop culture news segment for this week. What's new in the world with you, Ooze?
So, nice segue. Matt Groening's, comic, what is that called? Publisher? That one.
Oh, okay.
Comic publisher, is going out of business after 25 years. It's Bongo Comics, but he also is starting a new comic line.
Oh, okay.
Called Bapper Books, which will continue some of his books that they've been putting out, and also starting a Disenchanted. Is that the one? I read this very quickly.
Based off the Netflix.
Yeah, Disenchantment, Untold Stories, based off the Netflix TV show, which I watched the first couple episodes and it was really good. So
I watched the first season and I dug it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I scrolled past it on my new Netflix feed.
Yeah.
I saw you guys watching it at certain points, I think.
It was entertaining. I mean,
I have other things that I'm watching on Netflix right now. So.
Right.
I avoid Netflix because it's 6 hours of searching for something to watch and forgetting that I had just made food, and then it's cold, and it's also 3 in the morning and I need to go to bed.
Well, that's your fault.
Netflix is a terrible, terrible hole.
Netflix is pretty bad, yeah, because I will binge all day and not move from the couch. I will, be sitting in a spot for, 8 hours watching goddamn Dexter.
Or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
See, I want to do that, but then I'm also going, no, I don't want to laugh too loud right now. People are sleeping. Nah, that might have explosions. I don't want to watch that. Nah, I don't want to get invested in Barry Allen's life again. No, I don't want to know what's going on with Jefferson Peters. I don't, there's so many books and so many books. It's the same situation with comics. I really have a lot of stuff to read.
Yeah.
I ADD about everything.
I'm currently invested in Star Trek, so
Nice.
the original series, Star Trek.
TOS, yo.
It's a good one. We just finished Discovery.
Yeah.
There's some pretty great stuff, yeah.
Well,
that
haven't.
Caught, or that you pointed out in some of the episodes. It's been a long time since I've watched it. But
like how to tell which one's the evil doppelganger is the eyeliner,
yeah.
just in case anyone was wondering.
Or the goatee.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you haven't gotten
season
there.
1.
Evil
season
is goatee.
1, it's the eyeliner.
Okay.
So they evolve. So.
Just kind of a little bit of a new addition for Star Trek reference. There is San Diego Comic-Con's, of course, coming at the end of the month.
Yeah.
They have a huge panel planned called the Star Trek Universe.
Yes.
Nice.
Discovery Season 3.
Picard.
Season 1.
The Lower Decks.
Yeah.
The other shows they're doing.
That's pretty cool. Freaking and Marvel, who's been in and out the past few years of Comic-Con, they're definitely coming this year. They're going to be at Hall H, apparently, doing a big presentation.
Yeah. Hall H. That's the big hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got something big planned.
Yeah.
They got to.
Phase 4?
We just finished seeing Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. BT dubs.
We saw Spider-Man. No spoilers, but they killed everyone.
Yeah,
everybody
dead.
died.
Thanos showed up again, snapped at everything, and he's like, "You
With
guys
both
suck."
hands this time.
Yeah. He had 2 Infinity Cards. He went back in time and stole one from another reality, and then he had the one.
Right-handed one.
Yeah, the right-handed one. And, well, yeah.
And if you stay through to the end credits, you'll get the Deadpool end credit scene, which is great.
Yeah.
Just the best part is
Uh-huh.
the most
He's the only
amazing
one that
spoiler
didn't
you
die.
could have gotten all day is the Deadpool end credit scene.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, we got the Marvel slate needs to come out, so that'll be exciting. We'll probably stay tuned for that. We'll probably put some stuff out on that. But
yeah, for sure.
do you have anything else?
No, that was it. That
I
just ventured
spiraled.
off into
Yeah.
the universe
There's
there,
just-
which is fine.
Fine. So for
What
me,
did you have?
I got quite a
Szymon?
bit here. It's gonna be. I got nothing.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we got a lot. DC just decided that they are gonna nix all their other Vertigo. What was
Right.
that? What was that other company?
They're
Young
gonna merge.
Animal.
Not Young Animal. They're keeping Young
Well,
Animal because it's DC's Young Animal.
But yeah, they all their separate labels. We have everything under the same label. I think all those third parties have been put to a black label at this point, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I was hoping the black label would remain this the darker, grittier
it's supposed
stuff.
to be their mature audiences stuff, which is Virgo already is technically mature audiences, so it's gonna stay the M-rated stuff.
So you got the Neil Gaiman's Sandman's going to continue under that one. You got I Vampire is coming back. American what was it? American Zombie? I Zombie and American Vampire. Those got those backwards. Those backwards. Reaching back into my new 52. What am I reading?
Right.
Super supernatural shit. But bleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of condensed it down, which is kind of interesting to see them do a label change. They just did a label change recently with the whole new logo, which is I've got used to, but is that going to change now?
I don't need stuff to stop changing.
They're going to do the merging of all the labels, then they're going to reboot the universe again, and then they're going to
What is Flash going to do now?
change it.
Hey, it's probably Batman's fault this time, okay?
is
Have you been
everywhere.
reading Justice League?
They're going to change.
Not at all.
Then they'll change the DC logo. Then they'll go back and try to revamp some of their old Batman books, and then they'll go back and do
He's lying.
Yeah, I don't know anything at all.
Talking out his ass.
I am, but they do reboot the universe a lot. Not to say that Marvel doesn't.
I have heard recent rumblings in several articles popped up saying that, DC and Marvel are looking to reboot. We know Marvel's rebooting the mutants, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's next? The rest of it, Infinity War left it a mess. Everything's popping back up. We got Ultimates coming back. We've got all these other universes. Spider-Gwen's universe is going away. What's going on? So Marvel's really got to get their head straight. And then DC's like, well, we're kind of universe building, breaking, doing.
Stuff,
They're acknowledging. It's like both are kind of like, well, let's have fun and just acknowledge everything.
Yeah.
But on top of that, stepping onto the DC universe, they announced a schedule change for how they're going to be releasing Young Justice, because that started, I think, this week. Yeah. The second half of the season of Young Justice. Young Justice. What did I say?
You said Young Justice.
Young Justice.
Which is, it's just Young Justice written or drawn by Jim Chung.
Yeah, Chung Justice.
Chung Justice. But they released like the first 3 episodes of the second half that first time, and then they're going to release an episode every week up to the end of the season.
Which is, I think, smarter, especially for people like Sudon, who are like, I'm going to watch it all, and then not have anything to watch.
I'd rather just be like, okay, well, now I can watch something else, like Supernatural. I keep getting yelled at to watch. But,
yeah, they need to restart that.
There's a lot of...
There's 14 seasons.
Yeah, I know, but I go through shows so quick, and then I've recycled so much Star Trek that, like, I'm like saying the words in my sleep. You know, like...
He hears, come. Coffee, black. There's coffee in that nebula. Alright, but that's all I've got. The DC Universe has got a lot of stuff coming. We'll see what happens.
Man, somebody's got to get that message out to them to, you know, extend that app availability to televisions and stuff like that. I swear they'll do so much better with it.
Tell Jim Lee.
Right?
He's the curator. Just do it.
Just
That's
get
his,
on it.
like, title.
I'm sure they are working on it, but they've also... You've got the next gen coming out, so...
Yeah, I'm just like, I wonder if they're trying to keep it exclusive. Like, oh, you know, you can only get online and, you know, blah, 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 whatever.
It is really limiting their reach, but you still don't have, like, certain aspects of, like, Comixology or Marvel up on these sites either. So that's still kind of like... They're kind of... still kind of new, and I think they're kind of revolutionary, because Marvel's going to jump out of the game and beat the crap out of them here soon when Disney's like, here's their Marvel Plus.
Just next month. Next month, that is, when that service starts.
I thought that was September.
August, I'm pretty sure, is what it was.
Too much going on in August. Too much.
There's a thing happening in August that I know of.
Huh.
I'm toying with the ideas of doing a live footage of just me while we're recording. But,
interesting.
Because we've been talking about doing a live episode, so why not? But,
yeah. Well, we're 9 away from 50.
950.
Yeah. Anyway, my news was fans of the recent Jumanji movie, starring The Rock and Karen Gillan, Kevin Hart, yeah, and Jack Black. Yeah, the Next Level, Jumanji: The Next Level trailer was released. That movie's coming out Christmas, right around Christmas in December, right around this, I think, the same week as Star Wars. Yep. But Rock is confident that they're going to beat them in numbers.
I was going to ask, like, I think we have quotes of The Rock saying that he will win.
Yeah.
The force is strong in him.
I was a huge fan of that last film. It was super good. I loved what they did with it. It was very, not to spoil too much, they made it a video game, and it was very video gamey and super cool. It was an awesome adventure. Just like the old one was super great, this is a great updated version of the movie. And in this new trailer, they show a lot of cool stuff. We have a couple newcomers, Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, are joining the cast in this one.
Getting too old for that shit?
Yeah.
Sorry, beep.
But yeah, I'm pretty psyched for that. I'll definitely check it out. I will go see it, and I will go see Star Wars. So
yeah,
I need to see
it's a wash for me.
I need to see that first Jumanji.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, second Jumanji with The Rock.
Jumanji.
Wait, the first one with The Rock, second Jumanji. It died when Robin Williams was in it. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, it was actually, as someone who refuses to watch Robin Williams films anymore, it was actually a good movie, considering. I
think it mentions the character.
yeah, they mentioned that he existed, and then there's a part when they're in the game that you see his name carved into something. Yeah, no.
Oh, spoilers.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, watch.
You don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
It could be like it's...
You should definitely check it out, though. It's favorited on the thing.
I'll probably check it out at some point in the future.
I'm gonna make purchase of it at some point here in the future. But yeah, that's all I had.
Nice. Well, nice. Exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, the trailer's out. Yeah.
Yeah, that trailer. Yeah.
Yes.
It was great. It was really funny, and it got me super excited for it. So that's cool.
I am a fan of when actors act like other actors' characters. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like they have to act different character, but they still have to be that person. Yeah. Like that. It happens in like all the shows. All the shows.
Yeah, like that episode of Voyager where nine.
Yeah.
Where seven gets inhabited by the Doctor, and yeah, that is a great episode. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick break for a commercial break.
Commercial break.
And we'll see you in a minute. Alright, welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump into the comic book review segment of the show.
I have to go first.
You do. You go first this time.
I didn't realize that.
What you got, Ooze? You've got a stack.
I had so many books to read today.
So many books.
Alright, so this week we had Buffy the Vampire Slayer #6.
Yes.
Continued writing by Jordi Belair and art by David Lopez. I enjoyed it enough.
Mine said Dan Mora.
What?
Yeah, mine said art by Dan Mora.
It was wrong.
My CLZ said.
It's wrong. That's where I was another one where I was like, what the stop it.
Oh man. Well, other than that, we had all three of us shared Buffy.
Yeah. It was a good read.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was my least favorite book of the week, but it was still Buffy. It was still enjoyable, but my least favorite book of the week.
Right. Not a lot happened in it, but it was just,
I think these books need to be twice as long.
Oh, for sure.
They read so quick.
I'm like, come on, I'm not ready for this. I'm just going to wait for the trades. No, I'm not.
No. Sudon and I shared DCeased #3.
Great cover on that.
Yes. I didn't write down do you have the info for DCeased? Because I don't.
I will gladly go over that in my pick of the week.
Okay, well, can you say it now?
I will, definitely.
Cool, thanks.
Tom Taylor, Trevor.
Right.
Hairsine is the artist.
Hairsine?
That too. Oh, it looks like an N. I write. Huh. Also illustrated by Stefano Guadino. He did also help on that. Rain Barretto did the color.
And the cover that we got
was the Yasmin Putri.
Supposedly. There's lots of debate. But, more than likely. 90%.
Huh. Why is there a debate?
Because it doesn't say it on the website.
Or anything.
But in the book it says it. It's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I see, okay.
It's been a whole thing today.
Oh.
Whole thing. I also had, Sudon and I also had Lois Lane, #1, which was almost my pick of the week.
Oh, really?
But that was written by...
I didn't read it.
You didn't read it?
I didn't read it.
Oh.
I didn't get a chance to. As I said, I cut a bunch of books off because I didn't have time. We were ready to record.
It's at the very end. The question.
Oh.
The writer was Greg Rucka, and the art and cover that I got, which is the main cover, the variant cover, the semi-version, was Mike Perkins. Oh, so Jenny Fearson did the variant cover that I got.
It's a great cover.
I love it.
She looks a little Carmen Sandiego-y.
And Gal Gadot-y,
yeah.
apparently, and Lois Laney.
Lois Laney.
Yeah.
All of the above. I have this in the hold slot. I will be picking it up next week.
Yeah, it was a good, fast read. It was... I really wanted to watch Smallville today, but we didn't get a chance to. I was really upset. But it's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And I had 15 books to read. Wait, 14 books to read? How many did I say? 13? 13 books to read. Because I had to catch up with my pick of the week, Doom Patrol, Weight of the Worlds.
Nice.
Weight of the Worlds. Isn't there another Doom Patrol coming out next week? Like a second?
It's the other cover.
It's another cover, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have seen like B or something. I may have just missed.
I saw it. It's the other cover.
Oh, okay.
Before it comes out next week. Which I don't know. I might get. We'll see what happens. But, I had to catch up with the last storyline, which was 7 books that I had to read before I read the first issue of the new storyline, Weight of the Worlds, #1. But continued writing by Gerard Way.
Yeah.
And
who's that?
I don't know. Some guy that does comics.
He must be some new fella.
He does it only one way, the Gerard Way.
I don't trust him because he's a new name. There's no way.
He's the curator of DC's Young Animals, so at least there's that. There's more Young Animal books coming. I didn't talk, but I also had Justice League.
You forget Justice League?
I forgot Justice League.
Sudon?
I shared with Sudon. We both had to read number 26 and 27. Continued writing. Oh, these were both by James Tynion IV.
Tynion IV.
And not by Scott Snyder, which is weird.
You had to read 26?
I had to read 26.
Which was done by Javier Fernandez?
Yes.
For the art
Both.
and hi-fi. But on the 27th, Bruno Redondo helped do. There was a difference in the art in that second issue, which honestly I really dug the crap out of. Wherever that art changed, I was like, "Who's this? This is good."
Nice.
But
what is it? What's the first name?
Bruno Redondo and Javier Fernandez. And High Five just colors like my
just
mom.
like Delgado, man. He's
a really good colorist.
That's good.
I have to say, she's really good. I can't see half the colors, but they're good.
Yeah. So we also have that book. Obviously, that was a close third to being my pick of the week. But there was a lot of Martian Manhunter talking, and I don't care. Still, there was also not a lot happened. There was an offer about to be made. But that's it. You read it, right?
I just was happy with number 26. 27 was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
There
26 had all the people.
26 had Captain Carrot.
Yeah.
That was a joy for me. I'm like, yes!
Multiverse stuff. You know.
Oh, yeah.
How that works.
Doom Patrol, we're eager.
Doom Patrol. So the art in this book was really, really good. Jeremy Lambert did the art.
Did you do the cover? Or?
I believe so.
Is that Johnny Quest on the back? Am I seeing Johnny Quest?
The F?
Remember Johnny Quest?
They're releasing it on Blu-ray.
Oh. I sim salabim to make things work.
Sim salabim.
Let's see here. Yes, art by James Harvey. The Doom Patrol edited. Cover by Nick Dearington? Sorry, it's not easy to read.
No worries.
That. Do you see, like, my problem?
That is really rough to see. What am I looking at?
It looks like headlights on the road.
Nick Dearington.
Yeah.
You got that.
Yeah, Nick Dearington.
That is really, really rough, though. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool effect.
Yeah, I mean, the art... Okay, that's there. The art in the book is really awesome. Like, that's what made it my pick of the week, honestly, because,
They're similar art styles.
Yeah, the cover art feels more to me like the art that they actually did in the rest of the series, but the inside art is just it transforms throughout the story. It's like different art styles throughout the entire thing, and then use of panels, like I've said multiple times, is a really important part of storytelling, especially when it's incorporated in the art itself. And the story was just fun and confusing, which is what Doom Patrol should be. I think, personally.
I'm really eager to see that show. Like, really.
It was good.
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I've heard.
Mr. Negative gets a dog, and his name's Hank, and that's important to me. And, yeah, there's just a lot happening. And I would have to go through and explain the entire rest of the series to you guys to explain what's going on in this. But if you haven't read the rest of the series, this is still a pretty good starting point, because it's going to be a completely new storyline, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Nice.
And
the collector in me goes, nah, you're wrong. I must get all of the things before,
yes,
including origin issues, before I can read any of them. That's me right now with Aquaman, apparently. I'm not reading any of it. And it's tie-in next week.
Is it?
Yeah, number 50 is...
Drowned Earth 2.
Oh, God, no.
I don't want to go through that again.
I quit comics, I think. I can't do it.
We don't need that now.
No.
We already got enough going on.
Yeah, there was a good, like, moral of the story and everything on their adventure that they did, and, like, be you, but be the best you could be, and Robot Man's all depressed because he's not a robot for some reason right now.
What?
Maybe he reverted because he didn't used to be a robot to
No,
begin with.
so he was a race car driver, and he got in a car accident, and the chief rebuilt him. The chief's a bad guy, but he's pretending to be a good guy. And I assume something happened in Milk Wars, which I did not read, because that's also a Justice League tie-in, and that would have been another 3 issues that I'd have to read, and I'd probably just now be done reading.
Right.
So that wasn't happening. Hello, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's like, did you see my movie?
I did see your movie. You're gonna sit right there now.
Oh, hey, bitch.
You guys talking about that really old film?
What was I talking about?
Doom Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol. I'm pretty sure it happened in Milk Wars, but didn't read that, so he's probably not going to be a human for much longer, because the end ends with him driving off a cliff. And it's funny, because his name's Cliff.
Oh, wah wah.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was my pick of the week.
Nice.
Doom Patrol.
Okay.
So
If
many
we were to give it a score, a certain staples out of certain staples, how would you give it?
I will give it
10 out of something.
8 fleebs out of 10.
Okay.
I
Your
don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
is
thing.
irritating, but I'll take it. I can convert that to a... So basically you're giving it a 6.5 out of 10 staples. That's the conversion rates of fleebs to staples. I just looked it up. Oh crap, what did happen? I just lost everything I was doing. No, I didn't. Okay.
Well, what do you got for us this
Wouldn't
week?
you like to...
Yeah, yes, I would. Why, yes, I
Sorry, my eyes watering here.
Yeah, what'd you have for us this week?
I had comic books. I was really slow at reading. It's really hot upstairs.
It's warm.
But I also thought I had to read a lot more, and I had to drop a bunch of the books that I was going to read because there's a lot of back behind it that I was not ready to get into. But I definitely had Justice League 26 and 27 that I had to catch up on. 26, I got an 8 out of 10. With the Jarro kicker of an 8.5 out of 10. But 27 got a 7.5 out of 10 on its because, well, and it gets the kicker down to 7 because there was no Jarro.
Oh.
No Jarro.
No Jarro.
How? lots of Martian Manhunter.
Lots of Martian. So that should be an extra negative for extra Martian.
I could give that an extra negative, but I think it suffered enough without the Jarro. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I still feel like I should have probably read Angel, but I don't know where I'm at with that. I gave that one a 6.5 after the lack of Jarro. Come on, let's go. I need more.
Yeah.
I need more. It's great. It's I wish I could give it better, but it's such a slow pace.
I'll have to agree with you there on that one. I'd probably give it the same rating.
It seems like they've dumped a lot on us, and maybe it's because we know how the characters progress, and we're kind of like,
right?
No, just give us this.
Get to it.
Where's Oz?
In a way, though, they're kind of presuming that the audience knows, and I mean, it's a new series under a new company. They're kind of starting off relatively quick. They're delving into a lot of things that we don't see until later in the series, the television series. So
yeah, and they kind of laid down the whole Hellmouth thing straight right then. They didn't find out that until a little bit later.
Well, they're trying to set up for the crossover between Buffy and Angel, which is called Hellmouth.
Oh.
Which is, I think, when Angel gets to issue 5? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
No quote made. I will read that as our positive quote at the end.
We may have to go down to HOJ or something and see if they're carrying it.
Yeah.
I want to go to Colorado Springs. There's a new place down there that I just looked up called Iron something or another that I'm like, they look pretty neat. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty neat. Plus, there's also a lot of the places down there, like Walmart's, I'd like to hit to see what they have Pokemon collection. But plug the channel now.
There's a Walmart down there that has backlogs of the 100-page DC books. So
which is the issues we're getting now. The Superman up in the sky is those. I didn't know that. That's super cool. And I believe the storyline year 1, the origins that we're getting now, was in one of those.
Oh, really?
I from what I read, I like that's what's going on, but it could be wrong. It could be that they're just doing a new event.
Crazy.
It could be like they did the one that was way back in those ones.
Right.
So I may have, the article I read may have been wrong, but I want those.
Huh.
Those would be cool to get. There's a lot of them now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Justice League was great. Buffy's was great. But my pick of the week, I didn't get to read Sea of Stars. I got halfway through it and was like, this is John Jones all over again.
God.
And wasn't as visually appealing as I thought, and the corner was dinged. So every time I turned the page, it started ripping it, so I just stopped reading the book.
That's
so I'm not going to do
unfortunate.
that.
The cover made it look awesome.
Actually, the thing is I read the previews and some of the stuff looked pretty cool. I just didn't get to those sections to make me kind of keep reading because I don't want to ruin the book anymore. Right. So I'm kind of disappointed. I don't know if I dropped it, it got kinked in the bag, or I just didn't notice when I grabbed it off the shelf. But it happened. But this week I had to catch up on DCeased. We had DCeased number 3, DCeased number 3. I read number 2. That one I gave out a 9 out of 10 with the Jarro kicker, 8.5 because there was no Jarro.
Yeah, there was really good stuff happened in that book.
A lot of ouch happening, a lot of pain, a lot of people dying. This is continued writing by Tom Taylor, Trevor Hairsine, Stefano Gaudino.
It's DC's Zombies, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Rain Barreto is the colorist. Cover for number 2, I got the Lanil Yu and Tameo More cover. Because
I got the because there was only one Yasmin Putri cover, and I found it last week, and the book came out 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that we'll have to find at the Hall of Justice or something.
At the somewhere else.
But so I basically got the main cover for that one. And then that one, just, it's a rough book. But then we go to number 3, and I gave that one a 9.5 out of 10 since there's no Jar. I went to 9. That one I got the Yasmin Putri cover.
Man, some of these DC books just sound so damn appealing. And I keep threatening to pick them up, and I never do.
A lot of people died. I was like, what? Aquaman? No.
Yeah.
What? Aqua Lad? No. Like, all that was scary
Tempest.
I was really scared for Mira there. Like, oh my god. Like, really, like, no. Oh, okay. But that Batman... Alf.
So, we talked about the first DCeased, right?
Yeah.
How Batman had to go up against Dick and
Tim
because they had turned.
Oh.
And he got bit at the very end. So in the second book, he's using one of Dr. Freeze's suits to slow the process. Sorry,
like Dr. Freeze, where are you coming from?
I don't know.
She's been reading the Doom's Patrol.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze's suit to stop the process from going very quickly. That happens, and then he turns, and Alfred has to shoot him with a shotgun.
Oh, damn.
And he's like, I'm sorry, son. And
that was not so hard. I actually, for the first time ever, felt for Damien, who had to hear this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
he didn't hear Alfred cut the transmission before.
Right, which was nice.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the Harley Quinn angle that they're doing here. Green Lantern!
Yeah!
Taken out by Dinah! Laurel Lance!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Freaking kills him. Like, that one was like, no, but what turned him?
So Ollie and Dinah and Hal were camping, and Hal went to his tent, and you see a light because it's transmitted through screens.
It's a
internet,
digital virus.
So you see a light, and then he turns. So
I didn't see that. I must have missed the light. I was like, did he put the ring on and suddenly he turned? Because I'm like...
That'd be bad.
Like, Dinah Lance, you are worthy of this ring. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Dinah's worthy of the ring.
So she's the new Green Lantern.
Black Canary is the new Green Lantern.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And she blasts him with her canary cry. Read these books. They're great. This is minor stuff that's happening. Like, there's so much more. And the toil that Superman's going through, though.
He can hear everything happening at all times. And then he has to go to Smallville to make sure that his parents are okay.
That one, I cried. I teared up on that one. That one, he's not there. But yeah, that one was my pick of the week.
Awesome.
I'm just like, wow, you are... This brings me back to when I watched read Marvel Zombies, when made me think of scenes where, like, when Peter made the decision to eat Mary Jane and May.
Right.
And the inner conflict he had after that, but he had to get over it.
Right.
Because that's his new lifestyle. But that was like... I'm getting some of those, like, kind of similar stuff from that. And I'm like, this is cool. But... I liked it. Good book.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Freaking
And I have to say, the art stays consistently.
I didn't like the art in the first book, and that's the main reason that I thought I wasn't going to be picking up the rest of the series. But once I read the second book, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I gotta get the rest of it.
It's detailed enough, but does lack a detail that it kind of keeps that, like, I don't know.
Suspense?
Yeah, like, but it also plays for that blood splatter of, like, the zombie.
Off-screen or whatever.
Yeah, it just
classic horror.
The gritty, the brutality of what's happening in our DC universe. Okay. This isn't just on Earth, so...
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I'm really digging this. I'm really liking this series. I'm not even a zombie fan. I don't care about The Walking Dead was lame. I got over Marvel Zombies really quick on that one.
Right. I think I read the first 2 issues.
I read like the Marvel Zombies 1, 2, and the Ash versus Marvel Zombies versus the Army Darkness. I read that one just because I was curious how they were going to write that, with Ash. And I hadn't even seen the movies yet.
Huh.
But yeah, I'm digging it.
That's
I'm curious
awesome.
to see DC's take on this, because they could have just regurgitated a zombie, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They
made it something else.
Unique.
In DC University.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
What did you have, Peachy?
I had 2 little books this week. 2 tiny books. One I shared with you guys. Boom Studios Buffy #6.
Jordy Belair and the other, not Dan Mora.
And not Dan Mora, yeah. According to my phone. But my second book was The Punisher #13. With continued writing by Matthew Rosenburg and drawing by Szymon Kudranski. Featuring the art and the cover, I believe, was by Szymon Kudranski also. But yeah, that was my pick of the week. The Punisher was great. It's a continued story. It's the second in an arc. Basically, a lot's been going on in the book. It's kind of continued story from what's been going on, but a new, arc, whatever. And it's had him chasing Baron Zemo, and now Baron Zemo's gone to New York, so...
Right, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, so Punisher is hunting him down now in New York. I thought I'd see him catch him, but I mean, it's only part 2 of the story, so... basically, Zemo's getting with Fisk, and they have a plan to take out the Punisher. They got a task force together, and they're... what are they masquerading as the Thunderbolts, and they're gonna try to take the Punisher on. That's kind of where we end up at in the book.
So Zemo's all been deputized by Fisk because he's still mayor, or is that just still on the DL? Because the cover kind of makes it seem like, yes, Punisher, a task force, headed by Zemo. What?
No,
I can imagine Fisk doing something similar like that.
Right. Well, and the thing is, Zemo's leader of a nation, head of Hydra, all this stuff, and he's so much higher up than Fisk. So it's kind of interesting to see him have to come groveling to Fisk for help-ish. He's got his own means and ways, but he's just pairing up with him for the power play. It was a good story. This whole series has been really good. A lot of seriously cool stuff has happened, so I'm... it's a monthly, and I think I talk about it every time it's out, since I've caught up, because I didn't read it for a long time. But, great book. Matthew Rosenberg's been writing on there for a while. Love the writing. Love the art. Super satisfying. I wish it was semi-weekly.
It's nice when Spider-Man gives you a break to talk about another series,
yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah. But
awesome. Yeah. Is it have similar tones to the older comics, or does it seem like it's lightened up? Not as...
No, and it's definitely still pretty hardcore, and that's one of my favorite things about the character. He's not a superhero, and I think even in this book he said something along the lines like, I am not a role model. You want a role model, go talk to Captain America. I'm sure he'll be glad to help you out, but... all that jazz. But
well, it's good to see that they're keeping the grittiness to it, and not afraid to still go, oh, he's a killer.
No, yeah, he's definitely a killer, and still on top of it, still ever vengeful. Nice. I dig it. He's Rosenberg's done a great job to
stay true to the character.
Yeah. To stay very true to the character, just to keep that, what makes the Punisher, keep that drive, keep him there on the edge, keep something that, everybody, all the heroes in the world react to, they're kind of somewhat scared of him, and whatever, and he's just kind of a wild card, and that's... I dig the hell out of it.
See, it's a strange contrast on that, because reading Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is Frank Castle, Punisher, and it's comedic. It's not as, I don't sit there going,
terrible.
It had its point. There were some parts that was okay, but then the rest of it I'm I don't want to read anymore. He's destroying the Marvel Universe. They're basically doing, he's trying to be Punisher into a Cosmic Ghost Rider Deadpool. It seems really silly.
And it is really silly. He's over talkative in that series, and in the one versus Thanos, whatever. He was just not the Frank Castle I know and love, at all. It was very out of character for him. I have to admit I was intrigued because I'm a Ghost Rider and a Punisher fan, so
It's a pretty cool ass covers too.
Yeah, they had some great covers. But yeah, it didn't pay off the way I was hoping it would.
And I'm hoping that they keep it up to the characters' standards on that.
Yeah.
They don't stray away.
Yeah. But yeah, that does it for this week.
I actually had a question.
Sure.
Did they kill off Micro in that series?
A long time ago, I believe.
I wonder how long it'll be until like some sort of like background character comes back and starts fucking with them. Like in Deadpool. And...
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
All these because that's
I think
the new
they may
trend
have
with
done
Marvel.
something like that already. Actually, yeah. I don't know, but yeah. What books do you have next week?
Oh, so many books.
Do you?
So many. An entire 3, I think.
Oh.
Maybe 4, if we're lucky. Comics I have next week. Vox Machina, number 1. Origins 2, number 1. I'm super excited. Critical Role comic book. It's written by Matt Mercer. So,
nice.
Everything you want in life.
I saw that and I was all like, oh, I wonder if I should send that to her.
No, it's already on the hold slot list. It's
nice.
done.
We need to print that sucker out.
Yeah. And then Flash number 74, which, is that the end of year 1, or is the next one the end of year 1?
I'd imagine it'd be the next one, because it's a 5-issue arc.
Is it 5 issues? Okay, so, next to last, the penultimate year 1 issue.
It just seems like a lot's happening that they would have to conclude it in this next issue.
Right. I mean, it could move pretty fast.
It could go by in a flash.
And then I also have Red Hood Outlaw number 36, which I
Nice.
have information about because someone, as in the writer, posted something for next week's issue today. And
Nice.
I can't tell you guys because I want you to be surprised.
Sweet.
Okay. Spider-Man fell.
Doing so well.
I know.
Have the super high expensive, probably going to be a big book, multi-cover. Surprised they're not doing a midnight release of Spider-Man 25.
Yeah, they
Coming
should
out.
have been.
Apparently, since now they're doing this Year of the Villain, I have to pick up everything.
Yeah.
At least one. I gotta get Batman and Outsiders. Batman Universe starts next week. I'm kind of curious how that's gonna be. I'm so far behind on Batman, but it ties into Year of the Villain here soon. Probably with Batman or Bane or City of Bane or whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna try out that Black Hammer Justice League. See how that goes, because I really like some of these crossovers. Like the Justice League Power Ranger was pretty good, so maybe I might be interested in whatever this Black Hammer is. Flash I have with you as well. Mm-hmm. Hawkman is a tie-in. Justice League, obviously. Red Hood Outlaw I have on next week because it's a tie-in.
Is it?
It's an offer tie-in, but I'm going to pick my...
Deathstroke was a tie-in for this week.
Yeah, I have to pick that one up.
Okay,
I was mad. Harley Quinn was too. Didn't grab that one. We got Symbiote Spider-Man next week there, Peachy. Yep. Number 4, kind of curious what happens after what happened in the last one. I've got Superman, Supergirl, tie-ins. Lots of reading to do, but I'm already picking. My pick of the week next week is going to be probably Go Power Rangers. Starting the Green Ranger saga in a new way that we've never seen before, so I'd be curious to see.
Because that's the reboot, like they did with Buffy. It's where they're younger, and that's cool.
They're still coping with their powers, so they kind of pushed forward a little bit to where the Green Ranger's now suddenly appearing, and we're like, oh, who's this new transfer kid named Tommy?
Huh. Or
Or is it Tommy? Could it be their buddy Matt? Who's Matt? Never heard of the Ranger named Matt.
Yeah, I have two big books out. The ones you mentioned, actually, Next week, Amazing Spider-Man number 25 and Symbiote Spider-Man number 4.
Nice.
That's it for me. Guys, pick these books up. No, you know.
You don't have to read them, just pick them up.
Yeah.
Sit them back down.
Look at them, admire them.
Shuffle
No, if you're into that sort of thing, I appreciate if you listen to the show. But there's no substitution for the real thing.
Never.
Yeah, we're much better in real life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're the real life. Oh, not us. The comics,
yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
There is no substitute for the real thing, comics.
For sure.
I was being silly.
Were you?
But yeah, that does it for today's episode. I guess Sudon will be closing us out with a quote.
I thought about doing this in an accent, but I suck terribly. Our fate lives within us. Only you have to be brave enough to see it.
If you could change your fate.
If you could change your fate.
Your fate. Like your fate. Like
I honestly,
you wear shoes on.
I could go with this one. Here, this one, I'll do it very dramatic, alright? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. SpongeBob.
20 years.
Wow. Holy moly.
That is a very positive, it's on this list.
I
I was all like, friend something better than chocolate ice cream. Maybe friend somebody you give up for last cookie for?
Was that all English?
It was Cookie Monster.
It's Cookie Monster.
Oh, okay.
Because he's relevant.
Okay.
He sang at the Cubs game the other day.
You just were talking my childhood, apparently, because I got all of the references.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't even seen Brave.
High five
Me
through the
neither.
air!
I haven't either.
I just know if you could change your fate.
Always let your conscience be your guide.
Be listening for us on next week's episode. Until then, we'll catch you later.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
He also says bye.
And we're going to be back here to talk about comic book lore store locator.com.
Oh, yes.
Blah, blah, blah. You can cut this in.
Comic book store locator. If you don't know where your local comic book store is, use it, and then it can also show you what books come out that week.
That's right.
Do the
Forgetting about that.
Do the thing. Bye.
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 I figured she could cut that in. Like, man. That scene where he made the suit.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed this, connect with us on social media, and of course like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Music is brought to you by Kevin MacLeod. Find more of his music by visiting incomtouch.com or clicking on the link in the description. If you want to listen to more, find us on anchor.fm or website unstabletogetherpod.wixsite.com and pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts.